Hello everyone, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I am sitting down reviewing and swatching a new product from ANTONYM. You may have caught this in my last What's New video. I was pretty excited about them, but we are going to swatch and deep dive today the ANTONYM liquid lipsticks. Now if you are like me, you were really into makeup like 9 years ago. That's when I started the whole green beauty thing, maybe even earlier than that. You will know liquid lipstick. I'm initially like, yeesh, no, Anastasia, Beverly Hills, crusty, crepey, I don't need long wearing. I've like definitely grown into like a more sheer. I find beauty in reapplying lipstick as long as it looks good upon initial application. So when these came out and I tried them, I was so pleasantly surprised. So I will sort of break down the formula a little bit for you, but first let's discuss packaging. So packaging is going to be really standard. It looks like a little lip gloss or something like that. It's got the ANTONYM name. The glass is slightly frosted, so it looks similar to the color that's inside, but there is going to be, like, it's not 100% bang on, but it definitely gives you an idea. And then you do also have the shade name there on the bottom. So you know I kind of like any package that's see-through. It allows you to differentiate them in your collection. When we open this up, it's got this more long doe foot applicator that's really nice and narrow, so it is going to allow you to sort of draw the lip line. They do recommend to use a lip liner if you choose to do that as well for extra definition, but it is not required, which I absolutely love. These retail for $32. We've got shea butter, hyaluronic acid, and vitamin E. All of these work together just for a more nourishing formula that helps the lips looking young and youthful. I mean, what more could you possibly want from your lip product? There are 4 different shades here. They are all in the sort of nude variety, and they are a semi-matte satin finish. So these are not going to be that crunchy, ultra matte dry down. In turn, there's also going to be a little bit of transfer. It's not like heavy duty transfer, but they do not fully dry down. They're incredibly lightweight on the lips, and they have this almost photo filter sort of blurring effect. At least that's what they claim, and I do want to say I think that is so true, and you almost feel that right away when you're applying it. It's this really gorgeous light whipped formula that does not at all lack in pigment. I don't find that you need to build this up. They're not patchy. It doesn't lift off if you do go ahead and reapply this more than once, which I love as well. So it's got like a creamy down to a very lightweight, almost powdery sort of finish on the lips. So at first that kind of like gets me all nervous, but look at the texture of my lips. I have more liney lips, and again, I've like applied and removed like these five different times, and it still looks great on my lips in my opinion, and I'm hyper sensitive to that. Though it's a lightweight whipped formula, it doesn't at all bleed, so that's why what I mentioned earlier, you can use a lip liner to sort of get that further definition, but it's not required to keep this product in place. It does stay in place, and it does last a good little bit on the lips. If you take your napkin and you were like wiping it off, it's going to move with you, but it's in a really comfortable sort of way. So, and again, they're all nude, so I don't think you have to be terribly precious about these either, though I think a red in this formula would be pretty freaking incredible. But I know a lot of us wear nudes the most often, so I think that it's a really great initial sort of launch here. And let's just dive into the shades, shall we? I will have a swatch photo down below, as always, but I do always find that it's helpful for you to actually see these products being applied and in action. You can see how wonderful and pigmented they are, and you can see how it looks on me. None of these shades wash me out, which I'm really pumped on. So you can layer a more light gloss on top if you want to make it a little bit more nude, but otherwise I think they're so incredibly wearable. So let's just dive into the shades and we'll talk about that a little bit more. First things first is the shade ANTIQ, and ANTIQ is going to be the most pinky option. In fact, it's quite mauve. So it's got a little bit of purple, but this is stunning. This isn't even a usual color that I go for, but this was something a little bit more nude in the center, or a darker lip liner I think could be very 90s supermodel, because it's not too nude, because I find that it's either this mauve color or a little bit more of a brown tone option like I have on right now. But if you like your pink tones, you like what is this? It's not quite Velvet Teddy. Velvet Teddy's more brown, but you know, the matte colors from back in the day that gave the 90s supermodel, this definitely gives me that. And again, nice and dark to where I think even on a deep skin tone, this would obviously be a lot more of a nude color, but I don't think it would be too nude, if you know what I mean. Then we've got the shade Naturel, and I was so happy to see Naturel because Antonym used to have like chubby pencils, and I'm sure if you guys have been here for a while, you remember those. Naturel was one of those shades, and I always loved it. It's a gorgeous, very natural nude tone, enough brown, enough sort of peach in it to where it looks good on the lips. I love this. I'm not wearing this right now, but I'm kind of craving a little bit there in the center. It is so dang good. And again, this is another one that I think would work on a variety of skin tones dependent on how you want this nude to come off. But it's not too orangey, it's not too brown. It's a perfect nude on my more light, medium, olive tone complexion. That's the sort of angle I like to go in the nude department. Then my favorite one is probably Netta, and it is the deepest of the nudes. So if you have a dark complexion, I think you are just going to love this. It is like Naturel, if Naturel had more of like a terracotta brown to it, but it's in that same family as you could see, and that is what I have on my lips today. So not too dark, definitely still a nude. If you used a rich chocolate brown lip liner, I think that would look stunning. Oh my god, on any skin tone, but I love that it is dark enough to be used on a deep complexion as well without washing out the face, and it's got enough of those warm tones where it doesn't come across ashy when you are putting it on. So I simply adore that one. It's probably my favorite in the entire lineup. And then finally, we've got the shade Terra, and Terra is actually the lightest of the bunch. Those of you who like something a little bit more peachy, this is a lot more warm toned than the other options. I would say all of these have a more warm vein to them overall. That's sort of like the undertone, which I think in general is more universally flattering, though a cool tone of course has its place and is for a very, you know, specific sort of look and looks amazing on some people, but this is my preference, so I find that I'm really gravitating towards these tones. So if you like something that's a little bit peachier, Naturel's almost has a little bit more pink than that. That is a little bit more brown. You guys will be able to see what I like about the shade range. That's all four, by the way. What I love about the shade range is really that when you hold them all up in the bottle, you're like, okay, wait, is this four of the same dang lipsticks? And then you put them on and you're like, no, I totally get that there's a place for everyone, that there's subtle undertone differences, which really when we are working with nudes, those are the subtle differences that you're looking for. They're all gonna have the same general theme, but there's certain undertones that work well on different skin types and that we all naturally gravitate towards. But I do really appreciate that none of them are too light, because it gives you the option to create contrast with a lip liner, but it makes it so you don't have to rely on that, which I love. And again, you guys, here it is. You're seeing it on my lips. Wears really beautifully. It wears evenly, which I like as well. Feels weightless on the lips. It's not at all crunchy or heavy. I do want to reiterate that because I think that is the most special thing about this formula. And as I say, usually after a swatch video where I'm a fan of the formula, I just wish there was more colors, but maybe that's something that Antonym will deliver us. I think it's been a minute since they've had a new product launch, and this one is incredible. So hats off to you, Antonym. If you guys have tried these, please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe. I do upload new videos here every single week. I don't want you guys to miss them. Let me know if you ever want to see anything swatched down below. Do not hesitate to ask, or any video at all, really. Love to hear from you guys. And swatch photo down below, as well as a direct link to this product, ingredients list, so you can investigate a little bit further. But if you have any questions, you need a recommendation from me, also feel free to sound up in the comment section down below. Check us out on our social media. We are everywhere. You can ask questions over there as well. And I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.